On today's video, we're gonna talk about equipment. This is the equipment series, and this episode is all about health. That is right, we're gonna dig deeper into equipment and now try to build sets that are specific not only for the troop type, but for the specific stat. This video is about the best sets out there for health, for cavalry, infantry, and army. Hey there YouTube, welcome back to Gekko Gaming. Today, we're gonna focus all on health. You guys have been asking more than once, is it worth it to create equipment sets that are specific for specific stats or not? And so we're exploring the subject. Today, we're gonna go strictly into health. Before we start though, I'm a sponsored content creator by Rise of Kingdoms. If you enjoy the content, make sure you drop a like on it and subscribe down below. Turn on the bell to get a notification every time I upload a new video, which is every single day. We do Rise of Kingdoms, and we got a ton of KVK's coverage coming up, a ton of wars, a ton of civil wars, and all that good stuff. Make sure you're part of the community, or if you just feel like supporting the channel, that works too. All right, in this video, we created 3 equipment sets, one for infantry, one for cavalry, and one for archers that are 100% focused only on health. We actually made dumb decisions, quote unquote, for more health, and we're gonna discuss every type of troop and of course tell you whether it's worth it or not. All this information, all of it, is available down below in my Discord. Join the Discord, we're almost at 4,000 members, and in the ROK info archive, you'll find a Google spreadsheet, a drive thingy, whatever not, equipment forging, everything you need in there. So let's head straight into our beginning, and this is the cavalry set. Now, these are the 2 cavalry sets that we created in the video way back as the cheaper set and the ultimate set for cavalry. Card up on the top right for that explanation and that video. But this is the ultimate crazy madness cavalry health set. It actually contains 2 legendary equipment, which is stupidly crazy, but we went with it. Well, stupidly crazy for health, and you'll see why in a moment. Let's start looking through the set really quickly and then go into the explanation. For the weapon, we picked the Gatekeeper shield. Why? 5% cavalry health. Yes, this is 10 times better, by the way. It's a lot, not 10 times, but this is a lot better, but it only has 4% health. This has 5. We picked it just so you see where we went with this, to show you and prove to you whether it's worth it to take health or not. That's a little bit of a hint for you already. In terms of helmets, there was no helmet with with cavalry health. RIP. Sorry, Cavs. And so we went with the best helmet available, in my opinion, right now, the Expedition War Helm. 4% cavalry defense. Yes, there is the Abyssal Visage with 4% cavalry attack, but you only get 2 blueprints out of that, and if you don't special talent, sucks for you. But in here, Expedition of the War Helm thingy, you can always get more in Soroli Crisis and keep trying until you get that special talented, and then it's definitely better than the Abyssal Visage. Moving on to the piece of equipment that makes me throw up the most, the Milky Way. 6% cavalry health. Leave me a comment down below and let me know how we get these blueprints, because I forgot which event used to drop these. I have some of them, but I don't know how to get more of them. And I believe someone asked this recently. The Milky Way has 6% cavalry health. There's pretty much nothing here that'll give you that amount of health. You have another piece of equipment that is the infantry breastplate, which you can get from the merchant. You can get it from the merchant for resources. That's what I do. And it gives you 2% health. But at the ultimate level, the best possible piece of equipment is the Milky Way for health. We usually tend to recommend going more with Dark Lord's Blessing or Revival Plates. Nowadays, the Revival Plate is a little bit better, because if you get a second piece of it, troop attack plus 2% is a win compared to the same exact piece of equipment and the Dark Lord's Blessing. The difference between these two is literally the materials needed. The stats are the same. But for health, the Milky Way, our first legendary piece of equipment, spoiler alert, that thing takes forever to craft. 192 days. Whoo-wee. Piece of equipment number 4 is actually a good one. It's the Iced Sufferance, and it's the best piece of equipment for calves when it comes to gloves at this point. So we scored. The health piece of equipment is actually the best one too. So Iced Sufferance is the best cavalry health equipment. You have the windswept braces, which you could go with for cavalry health. And theoretically, you could go ahead and say that, well, but there's 2% in here. If we're going with the windswept boots as well, then why not get this? Because at 2% in here, you only have 2% cav stats. In here, you have 6. So you can get that even further up. You see what I'm going with this. There are no other cavalry health piece of equipment when it comes to gloves. And so Iced Sufferance it is. In here, we go with the legendary once more. Ash of Dawn. 192 days worth of crafting. Out the window it goes. Cavalry health 5%. And I believe you don't have cavalry. You have 1% cavalry health here, which Vanguard Greaves are not the worst thing you can pick up. 5% are a cavalry stats already, which you get 5% out of epics. 4% health on the Gladiator. Yes, theoretically, you could go with the Gladiator. You're right. I forgot we had the Gladiator. But 4% versus 5%, we took the Ash of Dawn. We took the Ash of Dawn. You could, again, Gladiator versus this. I would go with this 5% stats compared to 4. And the same thing goes, you have 5% attack here. 4 and 1, but the difference is the cost in terms of equipment of materials is stupendously higher here. I'd take the Vanguard Greaves, for example, but for the sake of health, Ash of Dawn. Finally, when it comes to shoes, windswept boots are your go-to shoes, 2% cavalry health. You're pretty much not going to get any cavalry health out of anything else. Yes, we could have fulfilled the windswept set, but it's not meant to be, not for this at least. And so at that stage, this is what we have. And I want to bring up the rest of the sets because there's some math we need to talk about. If you go for full cavalry, the best gear, the best equipment for cavalry, the top of the top, you're going to wind down with 38% worth of stats across the board. And you can see up there exactly the breakdown of them if that's what is something that interests you. If you look at the bottom, like the weaker set of equipment, you're still going to get 29% worth of stats. 29% worth of stats out of the smaller, cheaper set, which is kind of crazy. Because the health-based one brings you down to 25% total stats. Granted, when it comes to health, you're going for 21% health compared to 9% on the cheaper set and 11.5% on the more expensive set. So you could say that the 9.5% is nice on the infantry side, on the cavalry health side. But here's the deal. If you compromise from the top to the health department, you're essentially compromising on 11% more, 13% stats total for a return of 9.5 health more. I wouldn't give up on that. Now, granted, I would assume if you tweak this a little bit better, we can make a better set that is more health, but a little less focused on everything else and still make something better out of this. But just to go to the extreme, the best possible health set is just not worth it when it comes to calves. Even when you take the cheaper set that I created, which is 29% or 27%, Lord knows, like 29%. Even there, you're gonna get to a sweet 4% more. And yes, granted, 12% more health is nice, but 4% more stats overall seems like a better deal to me. And so for cavalry, I would say absolutely do not go for a health specific set. The health specific set for calves is dog doo-doo. Now, if you want me to try to build a best possible overall focused on health or best overall focused on any other stats, smash that like on this video and on the next 2 videos. And of course, let me know in the comments down below you want more combinations of sets and we'll get working on those. Our next set of sets are the infantry sets. Carded up on the top right is the infantry video. You have up here the best possible stats for infantry. Now keep in mind we have two sets of equipment. We have the cheaper one, the more expensive one, and then we go bonanza with the health one. That is right. This one is a little bit closer. You actually get a little more stats than the cheaper set overall. But let's go through the set and then we'll do the math together and figure out whether it's worth it or not. When it comes to weapons, again, the Gatekeeper shield takes the win. Infantry health, 2 thumbs up, 5%. Knock it out of the park. You got the same kind of result out of the Trial of the Lost Kingdom, which for the record, much better for cavalry than this is, and even better than that is technically, but hey, 5% infantry health, 5% infantry health. You had a little bit of 4% infantry health on the Blessed Blade, but we're not going to go with it. We're going to go for the shields. This one you get out of Ian's Ballads, and I believe this one you get out of a Barbarian Keeps and Camps. So fairly, I think, much easier to get this one than this one, but it's a lot of work, essentially. That Gatekeeper shield scoring the first spot on this equipment set 2. When it comes to helmets, infantry health is a little bit scarce, and really all we are left with for infantry health is the Helm of Phoenix, 2%. What can we do? Helm of Phoenix, this is again a Holy Sight Guardian plus Keeps and Camps. You can go kill barbarian guardians all across the map, no matter which Holy Site you're in, and you're bound to find a blueprint eventually. They drop every like 100 and so keep that in mind. You're gonna have to hunt a little bit of guardians before it drops. Just an FYI. When we go to the next piece of equipment, we're on armor, and in armor, Quinn Soul is the winner. Why? Well, if we go take a quick peek, can you guess what's about to happen here? Yep, there is no infantry health equipment for chest piece. We went with the best one available for infantry at this point in time. Quinn Soul, fantastic, 4% attack, 2 thumbs up. Again, you could go and say, you know, we have a little bit of potentially more stats out of the Shadow Legion, and I will not tell you no, but the difference between Quinn Soul and Shadow Legion is 1%, and the difference in cost is you can make 3 of these with the price of this one. So that's something. Let's go to the next piece of equipment, not waste too much time. The next one would be the Windswept Bracers. That's right. This is all we have infantry health, 1% here, and that's it. Is there better infantry stats out there? Probably there should be, right? 2% defense on this even. 5% defense on this, but no health, and so we're left with the Windswept Bracers. But hey, at least we get a little bit of cavalry march speed along the way on those infantries. When it comes to pants, we need pants. Karak Humility is where it's at, 5% infantry health. Knocks it out of the park. In general, a very good piece of equipment. If you're looking at infantry overall, there are, of course, better picks. You have infantry at 5% in here too, by the way, which is kind of crazy. Same exact stat for infantry, and yet 3 times the price. You have infantry defense 5% in here, and you have cheaper versions for infantry. You have in here 3% infantry defense, and so forth and so on. Karak Humility, 2 thumbs up, 5% health. Really, really knocked that out of the park, and it was a big boost to our health needs because the health department is a bit weak for infantry, and good thing it is. When it comes to shoes, there's only one pair of shoes that we're looking at. That is Shio's Return. Why? Well, unfortunately, no infantry health. So we went with the best and best, Shio's Return, infantry defense 5%, and that's that. So when we go look back at the sets overall, when it comes to infantry, our top set gives out 29% worth of stats. Our lower tier set gives 17% stats, and our health set is 22% stats. That's a little bit unfair though, because there are a couple of equipment pieces here that are the best possible ones because there is no infantry health in that equipment department. So that's a small one to keep in mind. If you give up on the top, on the best set, and you go for the health instead, you're looking to lose 7% total stats as you go down from 29 to 22, and all you're earning is 3% more health as you get 13% health here compared to the 10% health up there. And now I see we're looking at the calves. My apologies, we needed that instead. Smash that like on that fail. I'm not gonna cut that out. That fail is gonna stay there. We are on infantry right now, and this is what matters for us. And now with that, all that said, here's the deal. In infantry, you don't need health either. There's no reason for you to get health. Quite honestly, infantry has so much health already, so many health bonuses. The difference between the health and the least good piece of equipment set, whatever the heck not, the only difference in it is realistically the fact that you have some legendaries in here and epics, and in there you don't. You gain more stats out of it, sure, so it's irrelevant. When you're looking at the best set, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it for infantry either, ladies and gentlemen. Not worth to stick with health for either calves or infantry. I'd go with the best sets available from my videos. It'll save you a lot of a headache, trust. All right, now let's head to the final set of sets. And that is none other than our boys, the archers, carded up on the top right if you haven't seen that video. These are the two best sets. A cheaper set to start from and an expensive ultimate set. You get a stupendous amount of stats out of the ultimate one, 35% of them. And this is the best health-based archer equipment set. It is fairly good. It's reaching up the 28 stats. You're losing 7 already. We're not going to go into that conclusion just yet. Let's go look through the equipment set real quick and start off with the equipment, the weapon. Hey, the Heart of Saint is already chosen. What do you know? Heart of Saint has 6% health. It's the best health for archers available. Obviously, the Golden Age gives you more archer stats overall. And of course, this gives you more cav stats than archer stats. But then again, you have this for cav stats in case you're spending money. Anyway, archer health, 6%. Heart of the Saint. Pretty straightforward. We have 2 of them available, and you get those from Ancient Ruins or Altar of Darkness. Gifts from the boss. It worked out really well. We picked up 1 in each KVK. I believe it was KVK 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, when it comes to cavalry, to archers' health in helmets, yeah, it does not exist. And so we're left with the best archer piece of helmet, which is the Archer Defense 5% Revival Helm. We had to keep something in this set, and so this is one of those. Unfortunately, no health out of helmets. Kind of sucks. Sucks for those archers. For chest piece, we went bonkers, like with calves with the Milky Way, 6% archer health. I mean, come on. Nothing can compete with that. You have a Quinn Soul at 4%, but that's about that, and that's not even the best piece of equipment, if not the Milky Way. Obviously, the Revival Plate is very popular with 5% stats, and so is Dark Lord's Blessing, with Revival Plate being the better one, as you want to pair it with the helmet at some point for the extra 2% attack. But health specific for archers, Milky Way, 192 long days worth of crafting. Whew. When it comes to gloves, the pretty straightforward answer is leather gloves. They are the better choice for you regardless. And these bad boys are all right. I mean, again, you can go with an Ian's choice if you're going crazy at some point in time. But more often than not, people have the leather gloves. They come from barbarian keeps and camps of all sorts of bosses. They're a little bit annoying to collect nowadays because you need 30 fragments. Back in the day, they used to drop full blueprints. That's how I have 2 spares. Gloves, green gloves, cheapo depot, that's the way we like it. There are, unfortunately, no other solutions when it comes to archer health. Pants have our friends Gladiator, and this time around, they are the chosen ones. You know why? Well, can you guess the theme? I'm pretty sure you can. That's right. There's no archer health. And so we went with the Gladiators. That's the better set that you got here. 4% on the archer defense. Pretty much the best pair that you can ask for. 3% on the Exile of Greaves if you want to get a little cheaper on it. Technically speaking, 5% archer defense on the Eternal Knight is great. I'm good. For now, I'll stick with my Gladiators happily ever after. Finally, for shoes, there's no question. Archer Health, the Shio's Return, the big boys, the rude boys. These are the shoes. It's the best pair of shoes for archers regardless. At least we hit one of those right. And there you go, Archer Health. That was the set. I went through it fairly straightforward because honestly, there are only I think there are 4 out of 6 or 5 out of 7. What is it? 2, 3. Yeah, 4 out of 6 that have health. The rest don't. And so when you look at the stats once more, Archers, the best set we have available as of right now, gives you 35% stats. The health one gives you 28% stats, and the low tier one, the cheaper one, gives you 17% worth of stats. So if you were to convert the best set into health specific set, you'd lose 7% total stats, but you'd go up 14% overall health. So in this case, you can see that the top tier most expensive set of equipment had zero health, and this one gives you an extra 14 or 13 or 14. If you take a deeper look at it, essentially what you're doing is you're taking out a bunch of defense and killing your attack to add more archer health. I wouldn't do that at all. And when it comes to the cheaper set, well, you do better than the cheaper set because of the much better equipment in it, with the exception of the gloves. Everything else is like purple and gold. So of course it will be better, but once more, focusing on health is not worth it. And so the conclusion we got out of this video and out of the math and out of everything is that essentially focusing on health specific sets of equipment is not worth it. Is it worth it though to go with defense or attack? Find out in the next couple of videos. We're going to explore that subject and go much more in depth into equipment on this series. We have a playlist on the channel, cards up on the top right for all the videos up to now. I'm Gekko. I'm out of here. Appreciate every single one of you. Drop the like on the video, subscribe to the channel, did all that good stuff. I apologize if I look and sound a little bit crazy today. This is a long day. Tomorrow's video might be a little less crazy and more coherent. Thank you all for your continued support and for all your continuous love and feedback and all that good stuff. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the video, anything I could do better, anything I should do worse. I'll see you sooner rather than later. Take care. Have a good one. Peace.